Hello and welcome to another edition of Iron Ports, the program that has been dedicated to bring Ghana's ports and maritime industry closer to you. It is proudly brought to you by the Ghana Revenue Authority, GOIL Company Limited, Serene Insurance, Ghana Link, and the Meridian Port Services Limited. The program is powered by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. Our media partner is the Business and Financial Times. Viewers, last week's episode centered on the environment, where we interacted with the Environmental Protection Agency as well as the Center for International Maritime Affairs Ghana, who discussed the state of Ghana's ocean and how we can safeguard it from marine litter. This week we will continue to discuss the environment, but with particular focus on the efforts of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority towards environmental sustainability. But before we bring you the main discussion, let us pick a story that will tell us about the environmental management plan that the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority is developing. As facilities of international trade, Ghana's ports are subject to the requirements of the Environmental Protection Agency. One of such requirements is the review of the environmental performance of the ports with the aim for continuous improvement. To this end, the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority has contracted an environmental consultant, Coastal and Reclamation Engineering Services Limited, to audit its environmental performance and develop a comprehensive environmental management plan as well as an oil spillage contingency plan. Ahead of its expected completion before the end of 2022, the authority has engaged the various stakeholders who operate in the port enclave to obtain their inputs for the project.
Today we called the stakeholders, the major stakeholders in the port, to discuss the environmental management plan with them and seek their inputs into it. A similar one has been done in Takoradi 2 weeks ago, and this one is for Tema.
We met the aim today. It's been useful. We've picked up things we didn't capture during our own activities, had additional input. It's been very useful.
The environmental management plan will enable Ghana's ports operate sustainably. So still staying with the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, as I said earlier, we engaged the environment and estate managers of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, as well as a partner of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Coastal Conservancy Organization, who told us about the efforts of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority towards environmental sustainability. Here's a report. The Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority has stated its commitment to be environmentally sustainable in its operations. GPHA is poised to launch its official Green Ports agenda in the coming months. However, the authority has already begun to take initiatives geared towards protecting the environment for human, plant and aquatic life. Speaking on Iron Port, estate and environment managers at the ports of Ghana revealed that one of such initiatives is a tree planting campaign which coincides with the national agenda.
We're trying to create a certain carbon sink around our operations. Activities of port always end up emitting fumes and gases into the atmosphere that may cause certain environmental effects to human beings. So this tree planting exercise that we are undertaking is our way of ensuring that emissions that come out as a result of our port operations are curtailed, especially with carbon.
Remember that last year, 11 June, the President, His Excellency, joined Ghanaians to plant about 5 million trees.
Yes.
And he told all Ghanaians that it's going to be an annual affair.
Absolutely.
We missed it. GPHA missed it.
Yes.
But we took a decision that the next project, 2022, will join the exercise. So truly, 1st March 2022, he launched the 2022 campaign.
Edition, yeah, sure.
So from that day, we started making preparations. We did a proposal to management. Yeah. Management accepted it. Management pushed it to the board, and the board was so graceful to also accept it.
Yeah. Chairman of the Coastal Conservancy Organization, Justice Eshan, whose NGO has partnered GPHA for the exercise, elaborated on how the organization will ensure the trees are catered for in the long term.
The first phase was the preparation for planting
The second phase was the actual planting, which also hovered around the launching,
Yes.
and then the third phase is the tending, protection, and the long-term management of the trees.
Okay.
And that is key. That is where we've gotten to now,
Okay.
after the planting.
Yes.
The tending, the protection, and the long-term management. What happened was that all the trees that we've planted so far, we've put a wooden protective cover on them. Wooden cover on them to indicate that there are trees planted at these sites and location.
Yeah.
The good thing is that we are currently keeping a nursery
Yeah.
because the trees we planted same year, whatever, so that we don't plant some growing and some now starting. So we are keeping a nursery, some of these same varieties that we are planting. So that if we need to go and fill in, like the Community 5 one that we are talking about, the school one we are talking about, we have same age to be able to fill in.
He also highlighted its coastal cleaning projects, another partnership with GPHA for the conservation of Ghana's beaches.
We were at these 10 beaches for close to 11 months.
Wow.
And the impact, the success and impact was evident and immense, I can tell you. If you go to Teshi, the community is always, when activities came to a halt, every time they were calling, when are you coming? Because that was when they started with the canoe landing beach.
Yeah, the landing.
And they were asking, are we coming back? Because they were envisaging that if you don't, and they finish the canoe landing beach, the earlier situation that we saw,
again.
where the accumulated waste had gathered, created a big heap that we were able to remove, will come back, and probably the effects of the landing beach would not be felt. A lot of people, a lot of organizations, when they go to the beach, the beaches to do the occasional cleanup, they pick the plastic that has value. They pick the plastic that has value. Those that doesn't have any value, they leave them there. They leave them there. We were there picking everything, every waste, plastic, textile, wood, ties, car ties, all of that.
The managers in charge of estate and environment at GPHA also touched on the company's initiative to embark on a reduction of waste generation, as well as measures taken for waste segregation at the ports.
We cannot segregate waste when we don't have end users. So we identify the waste that we have end users. So we can segregate them and give it to other entities to use them or recycle. We identify that plastic is possible to recycle. The plastic bottles and the rubbers possible to recycle. Paper is possible to recycle. Like you said, so we've identified somebody who picks the paper, use it for toilet roll manufacturing, and they in turn give us toilet roll. Yes, and then we've also identified that the wood that they use for packaging, the pallets and other things, when you go into the ship, they use wood a lot to help make packaging. Can also be reused. Some use them for firewood. Some use it for other repackaging, but some use for even fencing, wooden fencing. So we give those ones away to reuse. So that reduces the number of waste that we carry to the waste dump site.
Now, when you go to our dump site at home, the place is choked.
Right.
Okay, refuse in Tema alone has filled the place, and it's not only Tema that dumped waste over there. People bring waste from Accra to the dump site. So as a port authority, we thought it wise that if we don't adapt prudent waste management practices, there will be a time where we'll not even have a place to even dump. So, one, we save cost in dumping at the dump site, at the same time reducing our budget in buying toilet rolls.
Tissue, sure.
We also have companies that are EPA certified that handle plastic waste. And then, like you said, we have electronic waste, like used computers, printers, cartridges. We don't just dump them on the landfill site. We have EPA licensed companies that we hand them over to.
Corporate Estate and Environment Manager Andy Bright-Berkon also disclosed that GPHA has begun to consider efficient alternatives to energy conservation.
The Port Authority, we've taken certain initiatives towards energy conservation. We have replaced all our fluorescent tubes with energy-saving lamps. We've also replaced the gases that used to be in our air conditioners from the R22 to the R410. We've also installed solar panels on our headquarters, the GPHA tower. So we have solar as an alternative source of power in the building. And like I said, we are doing everything possible to provide or use energy efficiently. We've taken steps to procure wind turbines to provide wind as an alternative source of power in the port, where we could provide shore power to vessels that call in the port.
The General Manager, Estate and Environment at GPHA, James Benjamin Gazy, also touched on the requirements for vessels so far as marine waste and pollution is concerned.
Vessels that come, they are bound by international protocols to obey or behave in a particular way. For instance, the recent MAPO Convention Annex 6 that was implemented in 1st January 2020 obliged vessels to use less sulfur fuel. Okay. I think the percentage is 5%.
0.5.
0.5%. Yes. So if you enter any port and you have any fuel that has higher sulfur content,
you can be stopped.
You swap. Okay. You change over to a fuel that has low sulfur 0.5. And GMA is supposed to ensure that all vessels comply. Vessels are supposed to keep their waste on board. Any waste you generate on board a vessel, including oil waste. Because vessels are just like vehicles. When they run a certain mileage, they change their engine oil and the fuel, lubricants, they change them. And hitherto, they were throwing them into the sea, polluting the sea. Now, laws have been implemented to make sure they keep the waste on board. They come to the port and give it out. And the port authority is obliged to provide a reception facility. We call ship waste reception facility in the port where they can give their waste. And this waste is environmentally handled and disposed of in an environmentally sound manner.
He said the authority recognizes that port activities, being industrial in nature, can pose risk to the environment. That is why GPHA has taken upon itself to initiate the Sustainable Ports Agenda, and this will be successful with the collaboration of stakeholders. Having heard from the experts, let us also hear from you viewers on your comments and questions about the subject that has just been discussed. Here are some comments. My name is William Frongpong. Great work done. But I'll be grateful if you can give us statistics of waste generated from GPHA, as well as a breakdown of what is recycled, reused or dumped for good analysis. Hello, William. The General Manager, Estate and Environment says, averagely, the Port Authority generates 1.2 tons of paper waste per month and 0.25 tons of plastic, which are recycled. However, this collection is done on a smaller scale, and efforts are being taken to do the collection on a larger scale. My name is Bernard from Ahafo. I am very glad you are speaking about environmental sustainability. My problem is with the mining sector. I would like to hear the activities the mining sector has embarked on to conserve the environment, because the activities impact on us who live around them. Thank you, Bernard, for sharing your concern. We will attempt to engage the Ghana Chamber of Mines in future on the matter when the opportunity presents itself. This one says, I have a small recycling machine. I need help. I believe with some small investment, I will get there. Good work there. We will stay in touch whenever a private or public entity requires your service or seeks to invest. Keep up the good work. All right, so the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority would like to entreat stakeholders within the port community to embrace and support the environmental agenda so that we can conserve the environment for ourselves as well as the future generation. Iron Port returns shortly.
Every now and again, GOIL makes good things happen. This time, GOIL has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. GOIL Super XP Run 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. GOIL Super XP Run 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. GOIL Super XP Run 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with GOIL Super XP Run 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. GOIL has that sorted. GOIL, good energy.
Electricity, pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is, you still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse.
Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse, and my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road thanks to Serene Insurance motor policy. My goods are on the high seas, covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Ajima about Serene Insurance. Oh, Ajima, tell him more.
As a road contractor, I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance for the projects and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
Mps Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
Thanks for staying. Now let us pick a few local stories from the port industry. This includes a message from the board chairman of GPHA on the KETA Port project. Also, our proud sponsor GOIL has some good news for us.
If you want to build a facility of that nature, then you've got to plan well. You know, I think we've done the basic, all the basic work that has to be done. At the moment, I think it's left the environmental and social impact analysis, which we have had several expressions of interest. Some have been shortlisted, and then they will be asked to bring in their financial and technical proposals for evaluation, after which we will select one consultant who then will undertake the environmental and social impact analysis. It's important because that is an input to whoever you want to attract to KETA. But KETA is interesting for me, not only because of its location and the potential for it to compete, but we are thinking of a marina as well. It's a beautiful beach, you know, and if we had a marina there, you know, I think people can bring in their yachts along the west coast. It's something beautiful, and then we can generate the beginnings of a major tourism projects into the place. You know, KETA is something which is dear to me. Ever since I went there, we've been talking about KETA. But immediately we finish the environmental and social impact analysis, you know that we are ready to go out there and actually sell KETA. I'm hoping that before the end of this year, all the preliminary works, you know, feasibility study has been done, and it shows that there's a positive rate of return if we are able to do all those things. Now there was a scoping report, now the environmental impact analysis. Once we have that, then the various things that we need to do as preconditions would have been fulfilled, and then we can bring in a tender for actual works to proceed.
Even though the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority has in the past made efforts to attain optimum levels of capacity when it comes to security, the organization knows better not to rest on its oars. To this end, selected senior management members of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority have undergone a 4-day crisis management training exercise to enhance existing capabilities to effectively manage potential crises. The training program is under the WECAPS project, a European Commission-funded capacity building program to strengthen security and safety of West and Central African ports. The exercise was categorized into 4 sessions, namely risk culture, crisis management, crisis communication, and crisis simulation. Incident Commander and Harbour Master at the Port of Tema, Captain Francis Kwesi Maika, explained that GPHA recognizes the need for continuous improvement in all areas of operations to ensure the successful running of the ports of Ghana.
We'll need to be at the citadel or be at the crisis center to be able to work out the issue of containing the emergency that might come up. So this collaboration has gone on for some time, and we decided to have this training to bring out all the juices of the features that are prevalent in this kind of exposure.
Crisis management expert Fabrice Tolari said the feedback obtained is indicative of GPHA's preparedness for unforeseen incidents and circumstances.
Crisis management is more important. There is a lot of crisis situation today because the world is linking, every department is linking, and when you collapse one pillar, you collapse, effects, domino effects, and it's a crisis situation. For the port, it's more important to continue quickly the activity. Today, the port is prepared to the crisis situation.
I wish you all the best, and thank you all for the participation. You took it as seriously as possible. It's been a good experience for all of us, and we hope to continue throughout the year on year. We have to do exercises like this.
The Group CEO and Managing Director of the leading oil marketing company in Ghana, GOIL PLC, Kwame Osei Prempeh, has disclosed that the company's bitumen plant being constructed in Tema is expected to start commercial production in August this year. This, he believes, will reduce Ghana's import bill significantly. Speaking at the 53rd annual general meeting of the company, which was held virtually, he said the 7,000 metric tons storage capacity plant worth $35 million is 99.9% complete. According to him, there will be a test run of the plant in July ahead of the commercial production in August this year.
Our engineers from the US are in tying the knots, and all things being equal, you hope that by end of June this year, they'll finish their work, and in July, we start the test run. And by August, we start the commercial production so that the company will start enjoying from our investment that we have made.
The board chairman of GOIL PLC, Reginald Daniel Lai, said the company registered a profit after tax of 98.74 million Ghana cedis, up by 9% compared to the 90 million it made in 2020. He averred that the company's earnings per share also increased from 23 pesos to 25 pesos.
I came to inherit a strong company, and our commitment is to make it stronger. And I think we are taking every step to make sure that we improve upon performance, we improve upon practices, we improve upon the culture, and at the end of the day, we're beginning to see results.
Despite the challenging nature of the year 2021, the company's volume of sales of fuel was approximately 886 million litres, about 11% above that of last year.
Now let us take our lenses to the international scene and pick a few stories from the global shipping and maritime industry. UK-based Artemis Technologies, a spin-off from the Artemis Racing America's Cup sailing team, has launched to market the world's first commercially viable 100% electric high-speed foiling workboat range. Developed and built in Belfast, the zero-emission vessels are said to be the greenest workboats on the planet and represent a £12 million investment in research and development. With a top speed of 34 knots and a range of 60 nautical miles at 25 knots cruise speed, the vessels produce energy savings of up to 90% compared to conventional fossil fuel workboats. British freight forwarder All Seas Global Logistics has launched its own shipping company, All Seas Shipping Company, calling it the first British registered shipping line launched in 40 years. This is another demonstration of logistic companies and manufacturers trying to gain stronger control over shipments after 2 years of supply chain disruptions. According to the company, the new shipping line is a natural extension of its existing expertise and business. They said the new shipping line combines the logistics and chartering expertise of All Seas Global Logistics with the container equipment experience of its sister company, First Containers Operation, and the shipping liner agency experience of DKT All Seas. Several media reports indicate that Mediterranean Shipping Company is preparing to take over Global Ports Holding, an operator primarily of cruise ports around the world, as well as some container terminals. Global Ports Holding said that its primary shareholder, a company controlled by Turkish businessman Mehmet Kutman, is in discussion with MSC. Global Ports has created a unique market position, focusing on cruise ports and positioning itself as the world's leading cruise ports brand with an integrated network of cruise ports serving cruise ships, ferries, yachts, and mega yachts. The company reports handling 1.5 million passengers annually with over 5,400 port calls. In addition to being the world's largest container shipping line, MSC also operates a growing international cruise brand that is becoming one of the largest in the world. It's time for us to look at the schedule of vessels in the ports of Tema and Takoradi, as well as those in the anchorages of both ports and those expected in the coming weeks. Also, you would have the Bank of Ghana exchange rates, which you may need to know to clear your cargo with. This brings us to the close of today's edition of Eye on Port. We hope you've been informed and educated. Remember, you can channel all your concerns, questions, recommendations through this platform, Eye on Port. Also, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Eye on Port. Thank you for watching.